Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Brave, Be You, and I'm here with Daisy, another one of our brave SHEROs that we're interviewing. And so Daisy, tell me a little bit about who you are and a little bit about your journey and some of the uncomfortable struggles that you went through and what got you here right now as of today.
So my name is Daisy, and I am a mom of a 4-year-old and a wife to a wonderful husband. You know, when we met several years ago, I was really big into marketing, so I had a marketing company back then.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was in kind of that marketing space, a wonderful job, very challenging, but I enjoyed it a lot. And what kind of shifted me to now having my health coaching company is when I got married, shortly after my husband and I found out we were pregnant, and then shortly after that we miscarried. And it was one of the toughest, and I mean toughest times in my life. And now I realize that it's so common and so many women don't talk about it, but it was a defining moment. So, so once we got through that struggle and then actually became pregnant with my now 4-year-old, I mean, the changes just kept coming, and being a mom and trying to juggle a career, and it was just so much. So that was the beginning of what turned out to be a shift from my marketing background to what do I want to do next that can allow me to be present with my son. So I found this integrative health coaching career that I could do. It seemed like something I was really in line with, and yeah, I became certified, and the rest is history.
Okay.
So yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Mente and your health coaching practice.
Yeah.
You know, what does it consist of? How can it help other women? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So Mente in Spanish means healthy mind, or to be healthy. And that's really the whole purpose of my integrative health coaching practice. So I got certified through the Integrative School of Nutrition. I probably butchered that, but IIN. And what I really focused on in my journey was, like I said, those defining moments of having a miscarriage and then being pregnant, you know, terrified that it would happen again, working through those struggles, and then being a mom and dealing with those challenges. So that really spoke to me and defined who I was. So my company deals with women who've miscarried, you know, women who are expecting and are just kind of figuring out, you know, what do I do next? What should I prioritize? And, you know, helping them through that. I've got great partnerships there. And then motherhood. And motherhood can mean you've got a newborn or you've got a kid in college. I mean, you're a mom, and we never really have it figured out, and I just create a safe space to be okay with that. It's okay to not have it figured out. And, you know, in our culture, I think we're kind of expected to, but that's, I feel, a big stigma. And when we come together and just say, I don't know what I'm doing, and another mom says, I know, me too, but we'll figure it out, there's just comfort there, and that just thrills me.
Yeah. So tell us about a time where you felt was very impactful for you, like one of your case stories of one of your, you know, clients, or you know, just one of the women that you actually worked with, and that it really impacted you. Like, how rewarding was that? Did you have to go through any, like, part of her journey, or what happened there? Tell us a little bit about that.
Definitely. So in coaching, we are, you know, we're trying to really listen and be present. So sometimes that's misleading because I feel like I want to have the answers, I want to fix your problem, but the style of coaching that I was trained on is really dependent on you to figure out the answer, and I'm just kind of guiding you and giving you a sounding board. So I have had cases, particularly now, that are very difficult, especially in miscarriage, that I wish I could just patch you up and show you, you know, 3 years down the road that it really is going to be okay, but that's a journey I'm just here to support. So in those moments, it's very tough, and you know, my faith has grown so much through this journey that I just have to, you know, give it to God and say, I trust that I'm going to be provided with the right thing to say at the right time, and I'm really here for you. On the flip side, when I have my group coachings, or just, private coachings, no matter what it is, when I see a mom really light up and find a solution that works for her and see that there is an option that, you know, I could really do this, those little moments are the best. That's why I do what I do.
Okay.
So, you know, I wouldn't say there's like, you know, huge transformative events that happen, but it's those little aha moments that my mom's experience that are my wins, really, truly. So.
Yeah, and I always feel that if you impacted just even one person, you've impacted a lot.
Amen.
You know, that means the world to that person. So tell us about what would you say would be the top like 3 or 5 tips that you would give to other brave women that are trying to make it, you know, women that have had miscarriages or gone through some of the things that you coach them on. What would be some of those tips that you could share with us?
Yeah, that's a great question. First and foremost, I would say you are not alone. Whatever you're going through, someone out there is going through the same thing. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not know what to do. And it's really okay to not have it all figured out. None of us do. So just giving yourself that permission to say, okay, I do need help. I need to ask, you know, I need to take a break, a mental health break, you know, step outside, go for a walk, whatever it is. And then just look for resources. I know we have a lot of access to social media and finding things. Often I find that it could backfire, so we could look at someone else's Instagram perfect life and say, oh, that's not me, and, you know, feel worse about ourselves. So not that way, but, you know, if you have a friend or another mom, just reach out and connect, and that vulnerability really goes a long way.
And something that I always, you know, teach some of the people that I interact with or women that I help is, you know, focus on the things that connect to you. You know, what things connect to your heart, to your mind, body, and soul. You know, those are the things that you want to take a look into, because if you focus on the wrong things will be feeding your mind and your soul, and hence your actions. So it's really important that you focus on the positive things that, you know, that really speak to you, that relate to you, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to, you know, start your day with positive affirmations, a Bible scripture, whatever it is that's feeding you. Just a little pick-me-up, it really does go a long way. Yeah.
And what can Sanamente, what's like a one thing that you would highlight from Sanamente that you could help other women that are kind of struggling through this? Like, what would be one key thing that you could, you know, a resource for some of the women that are looking at your video today?
Yeah, so I do have kind of like a starting place that I like to do with all of my coaching clients, and I do have a great partnership with the local hospital, and I do this with them too, and it's just a tool and a resource, and I'm happy to share this with anyone that reaches out to you. You know, you can publish my email, but if you'd like, I can kind of go through it with you, and you don't have to be a mom to do this exercise, but I can definitely show you what that would look like.
Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
I would love to.
Do you want to do it now? Or?
Yes,
okay.
we could do it now.
Okay, perfect. So let me just show you really quickly what that looks like.
Okay.
Again, if someone out there wants to try this, I actually encourage moms and dads to do this. Anyone is welcome to do this.
Okay.
So this here is what we have, a circle of life, or what I like to call a life balance assessment. And again, integrative health coaching just means that health doesn't just mean what you eat or how you exercise.
Which is what we always think.
Which is what we typically think, and that's, you know, it's part of it. However, there's so many components that you can see here that contribute to our health. So our spirituality, our relationships, our social life, our career. And if one of these areas isn't functioning well, chances are it's going to have a domino effect in other areas.
Wow.
So it's really important to do kind of like an assessment, not judging yourself, not, you know, just a very observative assessment to see where you are and what do you want to work on. So Elizabeth, I'm going to try this with you.
Okay.
It's very simple. Again, I'm happy to do this with anyone that's watching this and wants to give it a try.
And guys, I'm on the spot, so.
Oh, totally. She had no idea I was going to do this. So Elizabeth, I'm going to go through these categories, and you're going to give me a number from 1 to 10.
Okay.
1 means I'm not satisfied in this area, and 10 means I am very satisfied. This is working really great for me.
Okay.
So no judgment, be completely vulnerable and brave, and just give me a number, okay?
Yes. And as I told you guys, I would get myself uncomfortable first before I place anybody uncomfortable on the spot. So I'm on the spot.
All right, so we're gonna start with spirituality, and you give
Okay.
me a number from 1 to 10. Where do you feel that is for you?
For me, I would say a lot of what makes me me is my spirituality.
Okay.
So I would rate that a 7.
Okay.
Because I think there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
But without my spirituality, which I get it from God, I would not be the person that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say it that way.
Great. Creativity.
Creativity, I would say I'm always, that's one of my, I guess, really points in my life that I really enjoy to do. I'm very creative. I'm always thinking of ideas. So I would make that probably a 6 because I haven't been as creative, but I do want to do things more creatively, if that makes sense.
Sure, absolutely. In the area of finances.
Finances, I would say also a 6.
Okay.
Because I have been learning a lot about financial strategies and just improving on our financial goals. So, but there's still room for improvement, so I would put it as a 6.
Absolutely. All areas definitely have room for improvement. Career.
Career, I would make it a 7
Okay.
because right now I feel like I'm going towards the direction that I want to take in my life.
Perfect. Education.
Education, I would say an 8
Okay.
on that one.
Health.
Because I'm always trying to, educate myself on different topics.
Sure.
Health, I would rate that a 3.
Okay.
Because I think I need to do so much better on my health.
Sure. Physical activity.
Physical activity, I would say probably a 5.
Okay. Home cooking.
Home cooking, that has increased dramatically. So I would say probably like a 7.
Okay. Home environment.
Home environment, I would say probably like a 6.
Okay. Relationships.
Relationships as far as...
Just, it could be family relationships, friends, just how are your relationships in general?
In general, okay. I would say probably a 6.
Okay. Social life.
Probably a 5.
Okay. And joy.
I would probably boost that up to like maybe a 7 now.
Okay, perfect. So we've got all these stats, and typically I just ask someone to just give me a number, right? And I appreciate the dialogue. I think it's great that you're thinking through it. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take all of your dots and I'm going to connect them.
Okay. I'm very visual, so this is really helpful.
A lot of us are, absolutely. So Lisbeth, here's your circle.
Okay.
What do you notice?
Okay, so I really need to improve on my health. My physical activity, which I kind of knew that, and I have to just make it a round circle, I guess. I have to kind of balance all those areas out because right now I don't know what shape that is, but it needs to be more round, I think.
Great. So this is the exercise, and now I'm just going to give you some feedback.
Okay.
Typically what happens is that 95% of the people that do this focus on what's not working. That's very human.
Okay.
There's a dip here, I need to improve this, what can I do? And that's super normal, right? We want to improve. However, there are a lot of areas that are working really great for you. So I would first say celebrate what's working well and really just give yourself kudos and just say, I'm doing really well here. There's always area for improvement, but I'm doing good in these areas. And now in the areas that you feel you want to improve, and this is you wanting to, right?
Yes.
Not because you feel pressure, but you want to take this on. You mentioned your health. So if it's a 3 now, I would have you brainstorm, what can I do to get it from a 3 to a 4?
Okay.
Not a 3 to an 8 or a 3 to a 10. That would set you up for a lot of pressure and almost set you up to fail.
Yes.
Just what's one thing you can do?
Okay.
Right.
Well, I could mention one thing that I'm already doing, is I started cooking.
Perfect.
And not just cooking any type of food. Actually, my husband and I, we started cooking, and that has helped us with bonding more with each other. And we've been cooking much healthier food. So versus, like the typical, I'm Mexican, so the typical rice, beans, tortillas. Instead of doing that, we might do, a side of veggies with maybe a lean protein and a little bit of rice. So, just kind of changing that, and that has helped a little
That's
bit.
a huge step, And you see now it affects two different areas, not just your health, but home cooking as well. So the trick is really just to look at how this is going, see what do I want to do for the next 3 months, and just focus on that one thing. Maybe it's two things, but I would say one just to start.
So just to kind of clarify, you're suggesting that I should just focus on one area that I want to improve at a time. Okay.
Yep, just so as not to overwhelm yourself. If you can take on two, that's great right now. You're kind of taking on home cooking and health. Maybe it's physical activity, but not to overwhelm you. You've got plenty going on. Let's just do one thing at a time and bring it to conscious awareness.
Okay.
So the other thing I would say is that there's this misconception that balance means a perfect circle. And this will never be a perfect circle. Not to put a damper on anything, it's just our lives are fluctuating all the time, and in 3 months this can look completely different. So give yourself permission to, focus on one area and not feel so bad about another area, but just know that you have complete free will to focus on what you want to do, what you want to improve, and just take it a step at a time.
So the goal is really not to have the perfect circle, but it's more to kind of try and get there as much as you can.
Just an assessment. Like you could see, for a lot of people, they've never thought, where is my creativity or where are my relationships? A lot of people just assume everything is fine, but this gives you a little bit more of accountability and say, oh, you know what? My home environment isn't that great. I'd actually really like to improve there, and that'll affect my relationships, my joy, et cetera, et cetera.
So it all kind of triggers.
It all trickles into
behind each other. I see, like a domino effect, I guess. Okay, so I guess that's where you could come in and help with that piece of it. Like how do I really get there? Like what are some tools, some tips? And I'm sure you have your whole portfolio around that.
Absolutely. So there's so many areas here. If somebody says, I need life balance when it comes to work. I am overworked. I'm constantly drowning. Then we would focus on that for the majority of our sessions. But then other things come up, and then it's relationships, and then it's, health and physical activity. So it's very fluid, just as life is. Again, this could look completely different in 3 months, but it's a check-in, and it just gives you that permission to focus on an area and grow from there.
Yes, and I want to add something to what Daisy is saying. Part of it is not, you might think, well, should I invest in myself? Yes, you should invest in yourself. Always do. Always have mentors. Because you're not the expert in everything, and just, be comfortable with that. You're not supposed to be an expert in every area in your life. So look for people that could help you, like Daisy, in areas in your life. And it's going to improve so much more. And, just be vulnerable and be happy to have someone that's going to hold you accountable for things, because that's what coaches do. It's more leading you to the goal versus you leading yourself. And you want to have people that, hold you accountable, that are tracking your results, that are pointing out, hey, you need to focus on this area more versus this other area, so that you could get to your end result, or at least the results that you want to accomplish. So I do see,
that was perfectly said.
I do see the benefit of that. I myself have had a couple of mentors in my life, and I still keep in contact with them, and they're still coaching me. No one is perfect. No one has all of the answers, and that's okay. That's part of being human. So, thank you so much, Daisy, for sharing some time with us. Another question that I do have for you. What would you say to those brave, wanna-be brave women, want to get uncomfortable, want to reach their dreams, or maybe they might be struggling with their self-identity, just not accomplishing you know, their goals, not feeling stuck in a way. Maybe even young girls that are watching you right now. What would you say to those girls and women?
There's never going to be a good time to go after what you really feel passionate about. And sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith. I definitely wouldn't have done it without the support I have from my husband, my family, myself looking out for support groups, again, reading those right books, surround yourself with the right people, ask questions, and just know that it's so gratifying to take that little step and say, okay, I did this today, and instead of wondering what it would feel like if you did it. So those two feelings are polar opposite, and once you have one win, just know you're going to get another one. You just have to keep at it and know that you're not alone. Yeah.
So what are the next, I guess, big goals for Sanamente?
Yeah, so Sanamente is in its 3rd year, and I'm currently looking to take my coaching online. So up until now, I've done it all in person. I believe in the power of immediate community and having that space, especially with my moms that want to get out of the house. But we're in a digital era, and I would be doing other moms a disservice if I didn't have programs available online, so I'm working on that. And then secondly, I am publishing a miscarriage book right now. So I'm working on that. I've got tons of, talk about brave women who have very openly and very raw stories to share about the process and what it feels like to go through that. And so it's a compilation book of other stories, and my goal really is to bring hope to someone who feels like she's in the dark going through this alone.
Discouraged.
Yes, there's so many emotions. So that's coming this year, so look out for that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, big things for Sanamente. So how can we reach you?
Yeah, so I have a little sign here. You can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook. And if you want any of this material, or even just to go through that circle that we did together with Lisba, go to my website, shoot me a message. I'll send you my email where people can contact me, and we can do that together.
Okay, thank you so much for your
welcome.
time, Daisy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, and good luck with everything.
Thank you, and you as well. Thank you for having me.
And see you next time, guys.